since the outbreak of COVID-19, the priests of Kofukuji have conducted daily services for a swift end to the suffering. The central image of this hall is said to alleviate both physical illness and the mental anguish caused by disease. Throughout Japanese history, temples have been places of prayer, where people wish for a life free from fear.
When the corona pandemic first began, all of us, I think, had to think very hard about what can we contribute to society as Buddhist priests.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doctors.
Mm-hmm.
We can't help anybody in that sense, right? So how do you make people feel better, you know? And it was really interesting. The word that everybody in Japan was using is fuyo fukyu, right? And
Non-essential.
Stay home, for example, unless it's essential or an emergency, right? And we realized very quickly that we're actually not essential. Now, one could say that's devastating. One thing that happened that nobody had really thought about is that mental health issues really came to the forefront during these lockdowns, right? People started becoming depressed. And so that's one of those moments where you say, wait, as Buddhism, which really deals with what it is to be a human being, with what it is to experience reality, how to deal with suffering, how to deal with pain, we actually have a lot to say about these things. And I have to say, it's been very strange, because all of a sudden I actually feel much more that I'm sort of actually doing religious work than I do normally, right? Sort of administrative things or talks and giving tours and those things have all sort of collapsed, and what's left is actually my real sort of pastoral work as a priest, as a religious figure. You know, I write a little article on something, right? And people really sort of, write letters to me or call the temple and say, that was so great. And, that really helped me out a lot. And it kind of makes you wonder, why aren't we doing this more? It's such a rich Buddhist culture with such a long history, and moreover, a culture that uses a language that people don't speak daily, that I think many Japanese people don't realize what kind of a treasure they have in Buddhism. Right? And so we have this